So this is an automation that I built to create my LinkedIn posts, okay? And one of those posts actually generated $2,500 a month in recurring revenue because I signed a client for one of my automation services, okay? So the entire post, everything that you're seeing in front of you today was created with this automation, okay? And there's three parts to it, okay? So the first part is the watch RSS feed items. Okay, so this will grab the latest Google Alerts or Google News and then plug it into this automation, okay? Then the first part will create a hook. So if you know anything about copywriting or writing content, the hook is everything. If you don't have a great hook, then I'm going to read the rest of the article, okay? Then the second part is going to create the post, so the rest of the LinkedIn article. And the last part is it will actually save it to Airtable, okay? Now, this is what I recommend. I don't recommend you sending it directly to LinkedIn because I can do that, right? I can replace this module with the LinkedIn, create a text post module, right? I don't recommend you do that because, I do send content out to thousands of people, right? I get hundreds of thousands of views on my LinkedIn posts, right? So I want to make sure that I at least review it before I send it out, okay? So that's why I've done it like this. So let's start off with a fresh automation. And so the first thing you want to do is you want to grab the watch RSS feed items, okay? And then you want to get the URL for that, okay? So what you want to do is head over to Google Alerts. And let's say we're going to write content for dentists, okay? So we want dentistry content, okay? Because we're going to sell services, we're going to sell automations, PDFs, lead magnets, whatever it may be. You want to sell it to the dentist niche, okay? So we're going to create an alert. And then you want to go inside of the settings here, or this one here. And then you want to just change a few things. Okay, so this is Google Alerts. This is where the information is going to come. And so how often I like to do it as it happens. Okay, then you want to do it automatic. I mean, you can select whichever ones you want, but I'm just going to do it automatic. English is my language. I'm going to use the United States, only the best results. And I want to do an RSS feed. Okay, so let's update that. And let's see what happens. Okay, so it should create this one here. I don't know why I've got two, but you need this. Okay, this is the RSS feed. So when you click on this, it will take you to something like this, okay? Which is fine. This is what an RSS XML feed looks like. Okay, then what you want to do is you want to head over to the search bar and you want to grab this URL, okay? Then head back into the automation and then just plug it into where it says URL. You can leave the maximum number of return items to just one for now, okay? That's fine, and then we're going to just plug in all the RSS feed items. And then just run this. So you get some data. And so if it's done correctly, it'll look green, you've got some outputs here, which is great, and then you've got some sources and you've got some content, okay? So far, so good. So let's head back to the original automation. And then you want to do the create a hook, create a post, which are chat completions, okay? So I'm not going to go through all of that. I'll show you exactly what they look like in the one that I built. But you want to do a open ChatGPT module and you want to create a completion. This is for the hook, okay? Then obviously you just connect up to your account. So you want to create an API key inside of OpenAI. I think it's platform.openai.com, something like that, right? Inside of your OpenAI account. Okay, and then you want to select the model, which is typically 4.0 mini because it's very cheap. So this one here. And then for tokens, I just usually leave it at 0. Okay, I just let the module just figure out how many it needs. It's typically between 250, 300. It's not going to cost you that much, okay? Then the first part is you want to create a system role, and then you want to set the context. And the second one is you want to create a user role, and this is where you put the prompt in, okay? So I'm going to show you exactly what I did in the original. So heading back over to my original automation, this is what it looks like. So the system is, your job is to create clickbait hooks. Okay, create an engaging hook with title. So title comes from here. Okay, so you can see that here. Once you run it, you'll get all these fields that you can pull into the ChatGPT module. So for this, we want the title. I want to make it a bit more kind of clickbaity, right? Heading back over to the second part. So we just close this down, and then we're going to do the same again. We're going to create a chat completion, but this time we want to create the actual article. So wait for that to load. And again, it's going to be the ChatGPT 4.0 model with mini because it is just really cheap. And again, I just set this to 0. I mean, you can set it to like 300, 500, whatever you want to do, but setting it to 0 doesn't make no difference. It just uses as many tokens as it needs, okay? And again, the first role is system. The second role is user. And let's see how that's set up. So I'm going to go back to my original because I've already got it saved here, so I don't want to save the second one. And so you can see here, once it loads, the system is you are a LinkedIn assistant who takes breaking news and turns it into long form posts. Okay. Then the second, that's always a system role. And I always set this up every single time, every single automation. Anytime I use ChatGPT, it's always the same. In fact, I do this with Claude and Perplexity as well. Then the second one is a user. So take this article, which is the description. Okay. It comes from the RSS feed and turn it into a long form post for LinkedIn. Don't overuse emojis. I don't really typically use emojis. Don't overuse hooks like discover or unleash. Don't overuse, let me make this a bit more power words. In fact, I don't even need this, do I? Because I've got a separate one. Okay, so let me just take this out. So initially what happened was I only had one module for the article, right? But because I've got a separate module for the hook, I actually don't need that. And so just set in your parameters, like do you want to use specific power words? Do you not want to use emojis? If you want to use emojis, just let the AI agent just do it, right? And then this is the most important part. Give it some examples, right? So here are 3 great examples of long form posts. So 2 of these are mine. So I've literally just gone into LinkedIn and pasted my best articles, right? My best posts. So just go into your analytics if you're not sure, and just see the ones that has the most engagement, the most views, the most comments, etc., right? And just paste the entire post into here. Okay, so the first one is mine, and then the second one is mine, and then the third one I've used from somebody I follow. Okay, so it's this guy here, Michael Jane Doe. He gets really viral posts. I mean, he's actually written about the virality. And if you look at his posts, he gets like 56, between 40 to 60,000 views per post, which is incredible, right? And he's got something like 13,000 followers. So he's obviously doing something right. So I want to follow his style. Now he uses EasyGen for this, which is fine. It's a paid app, but you can train your agent to do the same thing. Okay. So heading back to this, we'll go back to the original. I've given it some examples. Now, if you want to get the best out of your ChatGPT agents, always give it examples, right? And always give it through at least 3 examples. Obviously, the more the better. But if you're building like big automations with big AI-powered integrations, then 3 is enough. But give it as many as you can. Okay, and the last one you want to do is if I move this up so you can see it, you want to create a record on Airtable. So if you haven't used Airtable before, you can put this on Google Sheets, you can put it in Slack, you can put it anywhere you want, right? Airtable is my preferred solution. I love it for this kind of stuff. I use it for a lot of things, okay? So what you want to do is you want to create an Airtable module. Just wait for that to load, and then we want to create a record, right? So let me just do this, I'll do this. Okay, so if I go back to my original, so I'll show you exactly how I set it up. So the base is the Automation Kings, and I'll go inside of there. I'll show you, so this is my Automation Kings base, and these are tables. So you can see I use it for a lot of things, right? I use it for Medium articles, Twitter posts, newsletters, project data, app services, and job leads. Okay, so this is where it's going to go. Okay, so what I'm doing is I've mapped out the correct base, the correct table, and you can just create this inside of Airtable and then just connect it, create a webhook to connect it into Make. You don't have to do this once, by the way, right? Then in the hook field, I've put in the result from the create hook module here. The body is going to be from the second module, and that's about it, really. Okay, so that's it. Now let's run this thing. Let's see what the output's like. So it's going to be, I've already got some content here, so it's going to be at 56. Okay, row 56. So let me just show you before I run this. So you just connect it up to your Airtable, select the base, which is Automation Kings. This is for me, but obviously you connect up to whatever base you want. I want to put it in a LinkedIn post table, and then you just map the fields. Okay, so the hook is going to be from the first one, the body, this one gone through, the first one, the second one is from the second module, and that's about it. Okay, so this is why I always recommend that you rename these modules. Okay, so if you go back to the original, you can see I've done that. Right, so the first one is grab the news, second one's create hook, create the post, save to Airtable. Because when you're mapping it and the automation gets bigger, it's easy to keep an eye on it, especially if you're using multiples of the same module, right? So I use a lot of ChatGPT modules. I don't use one. I typically use multiple modules to do one task, right? So if I'm creating a hook, I want to have a module for that. If I'm creating a post, I want to have a separate module for that. I don't want to put these two together because I just found the output to be better. But it's easier to find them when you've got them labeled, okay? So that's it there. This is it. This is all you need to do. So let's just run this live on the video here. So it's pulled in the article. It's creating the hook. It's now creating the main post, right? And then it's going to save it to Airtable. So let's head over to Airtable and let's just wait for this to load. Here you go. So that's a bit slow, but just gotta give it time to refresh. And you can see here, unlock the secrets of COVID-19 research. That's a great hook, by the way. How FAIR principles are transforming data quality and availability, right? Discover what you need to know. So this is the article here. It's about dental education. There's obviously something in there about COVID, but you can see that the long form template works. It's actually done that, right? And this is what it looks like in the full post. So what I've done is I've actually created a third column, which will take the hook and the body and I'll put it together. So this is what it looks like, right? It's taken the hook and it's put it together with the rest of it. And that's it. And this is just a simple formula that you can do. And you can make this better, right? You want to have, you can still tidy it up. So you could, maybe break the chunks up. So something like this. So I'll show you what I mean, which is very typical of LinkedIn, right? So I break up the sentences just so that it's easier to read, okay? So I do this a lot. And you can train this inside the agent, right? Just make it easier to read. I'd also put into the chat the chat completion into the prompt to say, follow me and like, comment, repost to your network, something like that. Have a call to action. Ask the reader to do something, right? And that's it. That's literally it. That's all you need to do to create automated content. And then obviously here, you just go into this, just copy the final post and then just go into LinkedIn and paste it, okay? So you can see I've got a lot of these here that do really well. And the more you train it, the better it's gonna look, okay? So yeah, if you like this video, just leave me a comment below, like, and subscribe to the channel. Obviously that's important because it helps me to grow the channel. And obviously, if people are watching it, then I'll record more content. Okay, so thanks again for watching. I'll see you on the next video.